On March 14, 2025, a significant controversy emerged surrounding CK Hutchison Holdings, the multinational conglomerate founded by Li Ka-shing, following its decision to pursue port deals, including ones in Panama, without first consulting the Chinese government. This bold move has sparked intense scrutiny and criticism, particularly from the Hong Kong and Macau office, which reprinted an article accusing Li Ka-shing and his company of betrayal against the Chinese people and casting doubt on the conglomerate's loyalty to China. The reprinted article marked a notable shift in the political landscape for Hong Kong businesses, indicating a growing expectation from Beijing that companies operating in the region maintain strict adherence to its directives and ideological expectations. The criticism directed at CK Hutchison highlights a broader sentiment within the Chinese government regarding the loyalty of Hong Kong businesses, especially those with substantial investments in mainland China. According to insiders, had Li Ka-shing's conglomerate sought approval from Beijing before proceeding with the port transactions, the likely response would have been negative. This insight suggests that the decision to move forward without consultation was a calculated risk, perhaps intended to circumvent an outright rejection from Chinese authorities. The implications of this decision are significant. For Hong Kong conglomerates, the intersection of business operations and political compliance is more pronounced than ever, moving beyond traditional business practices into the realm of political allegiance. The severe criticism faced by CK Hutchison is emblematic of a changing dynamic in Hong Kong's business environment. The reprinted article serves as a warning that any perceived deviation from Beijing's expectations could result in repercussions, raising questions about the future of business operations for Hong Kong conglomerates. The notion of business as usual appears to be evolving. Companies must now navigate a complex landscape where loyalty to the Chinese government is paramount. As speculation mounts regarding potential consequences for CK Hutchison, there are concerns that the company could face some form of punishment for its actions. This situation underscores the precarious position of Hong Kong businesses in an increasingly politicized environment where decisions are not merely economic but also carry significant political ramifications. In summary, CK Hutchison's decision to engage in port deals without Beijing's approval has ignited a firestorm of criticism, raising serious questions about the company's loyalty to China and highlighting the complexities of doing business in Hong Kong today. The reprinted article from the Hong Kong and Macau office serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences for companies that operate independently of Beijing's directives, indicating a new era where political allegiance is intertwined with business strategy. CK Hutchison's decision to proceed with port deals, particularly the ones in Panama, without consulting Beijing has led to a significant backlash. The Hong Kong and Macau office took the unusual step of reprinting an article that harshly criticized Li Ka-shing, the founder of CK Hutchison, accusing him of betraying all Chinese people and thereby questioning the conglomerate's loyalty to the Chinese state. This move reflects a growing tension between Hong Kong businesses and the Chinese government's expectations. Counterintuitively, while one might assume that the business decisions of a conglomerate like CK Hutchison would be primarily driven by economic imperatives, the reality is that political considerations are becoming increasingly paramount. A source with insider knowledge indicated that had Li Ka-shing sought Beijing's approval before proceeding with the port transactions, the likely response would have been negative. This suggests that CK Hutchison's management made a calculated decision to forego consultation, likely to avoid a direct rejection from Chinese authorities. The implications of this situation are significant. It raises questions about the future of business operations for Hong Kong conglomerates, which are now being compelled to weigh their commercial strategies against the backdrop of political compliance. The traditional notion of business as usual is being challenged as the operational dynamics shift toward a more politically charged environment. The severe criticism from the Hong Kong and Macau office serves as a clear warning to other companies about the potential consequences of acting independently from Beijing's directives. This is a stark reminder that loyalty to the Chinese state is now a crucial factor in business operations, overshadowing traditional economic motivations. As for the potential repercussions for CK Hutchison, concerns are mounting that the company could face some form of punishment for its actions. This situation underscores a broader trend in which Hong Kong businesses must navigate an increasingly complex landscape of political loyalty and compliance to maintain their standing with the Chinese government. In summary, CK Hutchison's bold move to engage in port deals without Beijing's approval has sparked significant criticism and raised questions about the company's loyalty to China. The reprinted article serves as a reminder of the potential consequences that may await companies that act independently of the Chinese government's expectations, highlighting a shift in the operational dynamics for Hong Kong conglomerates where political allegiance is becoming a critical aspect of business decisions. CK Hutchison's decision to proceed with port deals without consulting Beijing is a pivotal moment in the evolving relationship between Hong Kong conglomerates and the Chinese government. While the immediate backlash from the Hong Kong and Macao office which accused Li Ka-shing of betrayal has garnered attention, there are deeper implications that many observers may overlook. 1. Geopolitical calculations over economic rationality. One of the most significant yet understated aspects of this situation is the underlying geopolitical calculation that influenced CK Hutchison's decision-making. The source with insider knowledge suggested that had CK Hutchison sought Beijing's approval, it likely would have been denied. This highlights a crucial point: the company was aware that its interests might be at odds with the central government's expectations. Significance: this reveals a growing complexity in business operations where companies must now weigh not just economic viability but also political allegiance. The decision to bypass Beijing could be seen as a strategic maneuver to avoid potential rejection, reflecting a fear of political repercussions that extends beyond mere regulatory approval. 2. The concept of loyalty in business. The term loyalty has taken on a new meaning in the context of Hong Kong businesses operating in a politically charged environment. The reprinted article's harsh criticism serves as a reminder of the expectations placed on companies like CK Hutchison to align closely with the Chinese government's directives. This expectation is not merely a guideline but a litmus test for continued operation within the mainland market. Significance: the notion of loyalty is becoming increasingly transactional. Companies that do not demonstrate alignment with Beijing's interests may face severe consequences, including reputational damage, loss of market access, or regulatory penalties. This shift is indicative of a broader trend where businesses must navigate a minefield of political sensitivities, fundamentally altering the traditional business landscape in Hong Kong. 3. Potential punishments and market ramifications. While the immediate question posed is whether CK Hutchison will face punishment, the broader implications of any punitive measures are crucial. If the company were to face sanctions or other forms of reprimand, it could set a precedent for how the Chinese government handles similar situations in the future. Significance: the potential for punishment creates an environment of fear and uncertainty among Hong Kong businesses. This could lead to a chilling effect where companies become overly cautious, stifling innovation and risk-taking due to the fear of political backlash. Moreover, if CK Hutchison were punished, it could signal to other conglomerates that they too must tread carefully, further tightening the grip of political oversight on business operations. 4. The role of public sentiment and media in shaping business practices. The reprinting of the critical article by the Hong Kong and Macao office is not just a political maneuver but also a reflection of public sentiment. In a climate where loyalty is scrutinized, media narratives play a significant role in shaping perceptions and influencing business practices. The government's ability to mobilize public opinion against a major conglomerate illustrates the power dynamics at play. Significance: this underscores the importance of managing public relations in a politically charged environment. Companies must now consider not only their business strategies but also how their actions will be perceived by both the government and the public. Failure to align with national sentiment could lead to public outcry, further complicating business operations. 5. The future of Hong Kong's business landscape. The events surrounding CK Hutchison's port deals signal a potential shift in the operational landscape for Hong Kong companies. The phrase business as usual may soon become obsolete as firms are compelled to incorporate political considerations into their strategic planning. Significance: this evolution could lead to a bifurcation of business practices where companies either align closely with Beijing, thereby securing their standing, or risk operating independently but at great peril. The long-term implications of this shift could redefine the relationship between business and government in Hong Kong, leading to a more centralized approach to business operations that mirrors the governance style of mainland China. Conclusion: CK Hutchison's port deals and the subsequent backlash from the Hong Kong and Macao office expose the intricate web of relationships between business, government, and public sentiment in contemporary Hong Kong. The significant yet often overlooked implications of loyalty, geopolitical calculations, potential punishments, and the evolving landscape of business practices are fundamental to understanding the future of commerce in the region. As businesses navigate these complexities, the stakes are higher than ever, and the need for a nuanced understanding of the interplay between politics and business has never been more critical. 1. Geopolitical dynamics and business decisions. CK Hutchison's decision to pursue port deals without Beijing's prior approval reflects a significant shift in the relationship between Hong Kong businesses and the Chinese government. This situation highlights the increasingly complex geopolitical landscape in which Hong Kong conglomerates must operate. The notion that business decisions are now heavily influenced by political considerations rather than purely economic factors signifies a departure from traditional business practices. This evolution demands a deeper analysis of how businesses can navigate such a politically charged environment while maintaining operational integrity and profitability. 2. Impact of government sentiment on corporate operations. The Hong Kong and Macau office's reprinting of a critical article accusing Li Ka-shing of betrayal illustrates the precarious position of Hong Kong corporations in relation to the Chinese government. The harsh criticism not only calls into question CK Hutchison's loyalty but also indicates a broader governmental sentiment that could threaten the stability of Hong Kong businesses. An in-depth discussion could explore the implications of such government scrutiny on the operational strategies of Hong Kong conglomerates and how they may need to realign their business models to ensure compliance and favor with Chinese authorities. 3. Consequences of non-compliance. The possibility of CK Hutchison facing repercussions for its bold actions raises critical questions about the potential consequences for corporations that act independently of Beijing's directives. This serves as a cautionary tale for other companies in Hong Kong and could lead to a chilling effect on future business initiatives. An analysis of historical precedents where companies faced backlash for non-compliance with government expectations could provide valuable insights into the potential risks and consequences involved in navigating the current political climate. 4. Evolving definition of loyalty and compliance. The questioning of CK Hutchison's loyalty to China represents a transformative view on what it means for a business to be compliant and loyal in today's geopolitical context. As the relationship between Hong Kong and mainland China continues to evolve, the expectations placed on businesses are likely to become more stringent. A thorough examination of how loyalty is defined in the corporate world, especially in regions with complex political landscapes, would enrich the discussion on the evolving dynamics of business operations in Hong Kong and the necessary adaptations required to thrive amidst shifting political tides. 1. The Opium Wars 1839–1842, 1856–1860. The Opium Wars between Britain and China were a series of conflicts that arose from China's attempts to suppress the opium trade which was being conducted by British merchants. The British, seeking to protect their trade interests, escalated the situation into warfare. The resulting treaties, particularly the Treaty of Nanking in 1842, forced China to cede Hong Kong to Britain and opened several ports to foreign trade. This betrayed China's sovereignty and led to widespread resentment. Paralleling present-day sentiments regarding foreign business dealings in China without government consent. 2. The unequal treaties. 19th century. following military defeats, China was compelled to sign a series of unequal treaties with Western powers granting them various privileges and territorial concessions. These treaties were viewed as betrayals of Chinese sovereignty, similar to the criticism aimed at CK Hutchison for allegedly betraying Chinese interests by pursuing port deals independently. The backlash against these treaties fueled nationalist sentiments and highlighted the consequences of perceived disloyalty to the nation. 3. The Suez Canal Crisis. 1956. The Suez Canal crisis arose when Egypt nationalized the Suez Canal, previously controlled by British and French interests. In response, Britain, France, and Israel launched a military intervention. The crisis concluded with international pressure, particularly from the United States and the Soviet Union, forcing the invaders to withdraw. This incident is reminiscent of CK Hutchison's situation, where international business maneuvers can lead to severe geopolitical ramifications, raising questions about national loyalty and the consequences of ignoring governmental oversight. The bold decision by CK Hutchison to move forward with port deals, particularly those in Panama, without Beijing's approval has sparked significant controversy and raised questions about the future of Hong Kong conglomerates. The Hong Kong and Macau office's criticism of Li Ka-shing labeling the port sale a betrayal of the Chinese people reflects a growing tension between Hong Kong businesses and the central government in Beijing. This situation signals a potential shift in the operational landscape for Hong Kong companies, where political allegiance is becoming increasingly crucial. Future outlook, predictions for CK Hutchison and Hong Kong conglomerates. 1. Increased political scrutiny. As the Chinese government continues to tighten its grip on Hong Kong, businesses will face heightened scrutiny regarding their loyalty and compliance with Beijing's directives. CK Hutchison in particular may find itself under increased pressure to align its operations and decisions with the government's expectations. Failure to do so could lead to more severe repercussions, including regulatory challenges or restrictions on their business operations. 2. Potential punishments and sanctions. Given the backlash following CK Hutchison's port deals, it is plausible that the company could face some form of punishment from the Chinese government. This might include fines, sanctions, or restrictions on future business activities, particularly in sectors deemed sensitive to national interest. Companies that have historically operated with a degree of autonomy may find that their actions have consequences in an increasingly politicized environment. 3. Shift in business strategy. Hong Kong conglomerates may need to re-evaluate their business strategies in light of the changing political landscape. This could involve greater consultation with Beijing before making significant business decisions and a more cautious approach to international investments. Companies might prioritize projects that align with China's strategic goals to mitigate risks associated with non-compliance. 4. A focus on domestic market. As international opportunities become fraught with political challenges, Hong Kong conglomerates may increasingly turn their attention to the domestic market. This could involve investing in sectors that align with national priorities such as infrastructure, technology, and green energy, which the government is keen to promote. By doing so, companies can potentially secure favor with Beijing and reduce the risk of backlash. 5. Evolution of business culture. The traditional notion of business as usual in Hong Kong is likely to evolve in response to the new political realities. Companies may need to cultivate a corporate culture that emphasizes loyalty to the state, compliance with regulations, and alignment with national goals. This shift could also involve fostering closer relationships with government officials and agencies to ensure smoother operations. 6. Impact on foreign investment. The increasing intertwining of business and politics in Hong Kong may deter foreign investors who are wary of the risks associated with operating in a politically charged environment. Companies like CK Hutchison may need to work harder to reassure international partners of their stability and reliability, potentially leading to a more cautious approach to foreign collaboration. 7. Public perception and reputation management. The backlash from Beijing could affect CK Hutchison's reputation among consumers and stakeholders in both Hong Kong and mainland China.
The company may need to engage in reputation management initiatives emphasizing its commitment to national interests and addressing concerns about loyalty. This could involve public relations campaigns and community engagement efforts to rebuild trust. 8. Resilience and adaptation. While the current climate poses challenges for Hong Kong conglomerates, those that can adapt to the changing landscape may find opportunities for growth. Companies that effectively navigate the complexities of political compliance while maintaining operational efficiency could emerge stronger in the long run. This resilience will be crucial as businesses face ongoing uncertainties and geopolitical tensions. 9. Geopolitical implications. The situation surrounding CK Hutchison's port deals highlights broader geopolitical implications, particularly as the relationship between China and other countries evolves. Companies operating in this environment may need to develop strategies that consider not only local dynamics but also international relations, particularly with countries that view China's influence with skepticism. 10. Long-term consequences for Hong Kong's business environment. The ongoing tensions between Hong Kong businesses and the Chinese government could lead to a fundamental transformation of Hong Kong's business environment. If the trend towards increased political control continues, it may result in a diminished role for Hong Kong as a global financial hub, impacting its attractiveness to international businesses and investors. Conclusion. The future for CK Hutchison and other Hong Kong conglomerates will likely be characterized by a complex interplay of business and politics as companies navigate this evolving landscape. The emphasis on loyalty to the state and compliance with Beijing's directives will become increasingly critical. The ability to adapt to these changes will determine not only the sustainability of individual companies but also the overall economic landscape of Hong Kong in the years to come. The path forward will require a delicate balance between maintaining operational independence and aligning with the strategic interests of the Chinese government.